Hello guys, we're loving making these video podcasts for you, but we need your help. Head down to the description, smash that big red button. No, not that one. Hit the big subscribe button, like the video and turn on notifications to keep these videos coming in. Hope you enjoy this week's episode.
Well, hello everybody. Welcome back to the Low Expectations podcast. It's episode 9? Episode 9.
Yes.
We've made it past episode 8.
Yes,
This is amazing.
Fatal date.
The fateful episode 8 in which all podcasts die out. So yeah, we've got very special guest with us today. We've had a lot of suggestions coming in over the past few weeks for like who people want to get on. And one of them has actually come in quite a lot, and we thought, yeah, great, let's get her on. So please welcome our good friend, Elle Limebear.
Hello! It's only
I
me.
definitely did not think you'd actually pop up from the tape.
That was incredible.
What do you think? Hello!
How are you, Ellie?
I'm so good. How are you doing?
Yeah, I'm good.
Very good.
Just relax. Very excited to be here today.
Very excited. You guys look so pro. You've got like all the gear, haven't you?
Trust me,
come
whatever, like what you're saying is going to be way more value than what we're saying.
Yes,
So-
100%.
No, I feel like I need the big earphones.
big headphones or whatever. Yeah. How are you doing? How's lockdown?
Lockdown is going good. I feel I've actually quite enjoyed it, to be honest. I'm probably one of those annoying people that have actually quite enjoyed it, purely because we're away so much with work that home is always a treat. So being told you have to stay in your home is like, oh, what a shame.
That's amazing. Some people might be listening and not know who you are. So I'm going to give you 30 seconds.
Oh, God.
If someone was to write a biography of you in 30 seconds, okay, the story of Elle Limebear from birth to now.
Oh, wow. Okay.
30 seconds to tell us everything about you. Okay?
Okay.
Are you ready?
Oh, gosh. This is a challenge.
3, 2, 1, go.
I was born Ellie Anna Joyful Smith in 1997, 2nd of April. I'm 23 years old and I grew up in a quite large family. I don't have 6 kids. I'm part of a family who has 6 kids. I travelled quite a lot as a child. My dad is a worship leader and travelling musician. He was part of
10
the band.
seconds.
Oh gosh, and now I do music too. I travel with my husband Tom. We've been married for 3 years and we love life, love Brighton and love people, love young people.
That was exactly 30 seconds.
Yeah,
Well done.
smashed it.
That's probably the hardest thing I've ever done in my life.
We learnt a lot about you just then. But I think people want to know a little bit more. So we've got some quick fire questions and you have 3 seconds to answer each one.
Okay.
First thing that comes to your head. Okay. Hopefully the lag of the internet isn't going to make this a bit awkward, but okay, here we go. 3 seconds to answer. What's your favourite colour?
Coral.
What's your favourite animal?
Elephant.
What's your favourite hot drink?
Coffee.
What are you doing straight after this?
Who knows?
Airbnb or hotel?
Oh, Airbnb.
Summer or winter?
Summer.
And grab one thing near you beginning with T.
A candle. That means a candle with a T.
To candle.
It's a candle.
It's a candle. It's a candle.
We'll take it. I just love seeing the shock on people's faces when he's just like, grab something beginning with, and then you're like,
What's T?
Yeah, it's so good to see you. It's so good that you're here. You said lockdown's going good. Are you doing anything to like occupy your time during lockdown? Is there anything that's like things that you wanted to get done that you're doing? Stuff like that?
I think at the start of lockdown, I was very much like, I'm going to rest and I'm going to chill out and I'm going to not do much. And then I think I got a bit like, oh, what should I do around the house? What jobs can we do? And then started to get into writing again. I think I've become a bit more routine with writing and different sessions each week and doing the garden and making bread, all the classic lockdown things. Like I've made bread, I've made banana bread,
Amazing.
I've painted things. But no, I'm doing well.
That's amazing. Tom is so lucky. I love banana bread.
I love banana bread. With a bit of Nutella on top. Have you ever done that? It's just warm it up, bit of Nutella on top. Bob's your uncle.
Beautiful.
Beautiful.
What do you think? Do you think there's like a specific like motivation that you have for like writing within like lockdown and just being like kind of locked up? Is there like a specific like thing that kind of like encourages you and makes you like makes you like drive towards creating stuff?
That's a great question. I think when you are still and when there's not much going on, like in lockdown in our home, I mean, it's just me and Tom, and it's still and there's no noise. We live next to a primary school, and I love it when there is school because like you can hear all the kids and playing around, but there's like nothing, like no cars in this time. And I think stillness is so key to creativity, and just to be still and listen and look around. And I think that's something that I've been doing a lot in lockdown, is simply just like watching like the birds and sitting still outside and listening and reading. And my relationship with God definitely has everything to do with that too. So I think with writing, I simply write when I feel like I've got an idea or I've got something to say on, and then lots of ideas just come when I simply sit at the piano. And I'm not trying to write a song, I'm simply just like singing, you know. So I think my motivation purely is just listening to, I think, chatting to people, conversations, what you're reading, what you're taking in. And in lockdown, I've wanted to write too, also because I feel with Zoom now, it's so easy just to write with people all over the world, and people that I've wanted to write with for so long, but, you know, can't fly here or can't fly there, just to write. So I've seen this opportunity, it's like, who have I wanted to write with that haven't got, you know, and just message them. And they can, the worst thing that they can say is no.
Yeah, 100%.
Or like, sorry, can't, or they ignore my message. So it's actually been really cool just to write with people all over the world, and finding the times of, you know, more, you know, some have been really late at night because it's been in Australia or America, blah, blah, blah. But I think just getting to write with people as well is such a motivation, and to catch up first and, you know, how are you doing? How's lockdown? What are you thinking about? And then to write, and you're like so far apart, but yeah, we're on a screen.
Yeah.
It's really encouraging. It's like, it's quite exciting to sort of see what's going to come out of this time, like with everyone, I guess. It's like, because all of these emotions are so much more like raw now that we can't, you know, go out and enjoy life as we knew it, kind of thing, you know.
And I think
so
it's quite nice, like creating also without pressure too. That's something that I've learned, is that I don't actually have to write at the moment. Like the label aren't saying like, can you like this amount of songs or blah, blah, blah. I'm purely writing because I love it and I want to, and I want to write with people. And I think that's something I've learned over the years, even doing photography, is that my favourite things to photograph were the things that I didn't get paid for. Because the creativity and the pressure of not, they're asking that, you know, they're paying me that much. So you know, but when you get to do something without any pressure, it's really beautiful what comes out of that. And simply, you're not trying, you're not striving, you're just simply like resting and seeing what happens. I think
that's the biggest goal for everyone, really, isn't it? Like it's finding something that you're so passionate about that you will happily just go and do for free, just out of like just the love of it.
Totally.
And I think, like especially with you, and obviously we do as well. We're all super fortunate that we've managed to kind of find that kind of thing that kind of fulfills us in that way.
100%.
But yeah, you've obviously started doing your solo stuff. But what do you think is the first memory that you had from like an early age relating to music?
Wow.
A bit of a thinker.
That is great. I really remember spinning around as a chubby toddler. Like so chubby. There's videos of me, but I remember it. Simply just like twirling in our kitchen to like just worship songs, and like my dad's friends, like a lady called Darlene Check. I just remember just twirling, and I think that's something I really remember is just being lost in it, just being lost in the music and the song and voices, and not caring for the world. So yeah, I guess that maybe.
Yeah. Also, you were sort of raised around music, I guess. It's like has been quite a big part of your life.
Yeah.
Like when did you like start going, oh, like maybe I could write something? Was it fairly like, because I remember I used to just like write little melodies on the piano and stuff like that, and they'd always be awful. But like, was it something as natural as that, or was it, oh, I really want to just try this, let's try it?
So in my story, I think I did piano lessons for a long time in my life, but didn't really enjoy it. I always were like waiting for them to go so I could just like mess around on the piano. So I don't want to learn this song or scales, like boring. So I would wait for them to go, and then I would be like, oh, right, let's just literally mess around with the piano. But I honestly never had the dream or thought of like, I'm going to write music or I'm going to be an artist or a musician. I never had that dream. I don't know why, but I have always loved creativity. I've always loved singing and always loved messing around with the piano and stuff, but I was never ever confident to sing out loud to anyone, or I never did like school competitions, singing competitions. Like the mic scared me, the stage like freaked me out, so I always like avoided all of that. I was like, oh, and my dad's done it. I was like, oh, I should probably do something else other than music. But definitely when I was 17 and our worship pastor Paul Nelson in part of St Peter's Church in Brighton, and and he simply just invited me when I was 17 to go to this writing retreat to write songs for the church. And that was probably when I first discovered that I loved writing music, but also with people. That was like definitely birthed a love for co-writing and to be in the room with people and chat and then write something. But then again, I didn't think I would do music. I wasn't planning on doing music. I was definitely planning to do photography. So yeah, it was probably only like 3 years ago where I was like, okay, I think now's the time to do this. So here we are.
You said obviously, yeah, you were doing like photography and stuff. How early did you start doing that?
Gosh, I just always had a camera as a teenager, like on family holidays. I was always the person like, okay, Els, do you want to take the shot? Or can you take a photo of this? And always loved that. And then I think that just grew into getting some gear and booking things with people, like saying, do you want to shoot? Do you need some portraits done? Blah, blah, blah. Probably maybe when I was like 16.
Oh, cool.
And then started my business doing weddings and family stuff, and then probably stopped that when I was like 20, maybe. 21.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
What? So was it just like weddings and bits like that, or was there anything like? Was there any super exciting shoots that you remember?
That's good. Again, similar thing where like the things I loved the most were the things where we went creatively wild. And I've got this idea, let's go to this place, or let's go here. Do you have, let's have this outfit or these props, or those are the things I actually loved the most.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I did lots of weddings and family stuff and portraits and events, and which is great, and I loved that. Like that paid the bills, but definitely the more where you do, let's go here, meet me here, let's shoot this. The light is sick here, quick. Like those are things that are so exciting. I'm like, oh my gosh, like you don't know if you're gonna get a shot. And working with film too, I loved shooting on film, so that was even more exciting. It's like, we've got to wait until it gets developed. And
you come home and you're like, I don't know if any of these are really good.
Yeah.
So like,
totally, yeah. So,
I guess that helps now though, especially like you're more on the other side of the camera.
yeah.
How does that kind of impact your view on like when you go out with like a photographer for like an album cover shoot, or whether that's like a video or whatever? Do you have much of like a say in like, oh, like I want it to be like this and like that, or is it like like just make it and just go with it?
That's a good question. I think I definitely I know what I like and I know what I don't like. So in that sense, if there's like a backdrop or like a vibe or an outfit that I've been put in, I'm like, this is not the vibe, or I will definitely probably mention it. But I think with photography, like for my album even, I worked with my friend Liv, one of my closest friends, so that was like so easy because we very much get each other. And she knows me and my style too of photography and what I love, what sort of poses or looks even. So, I don't know. Good question.
There's that like level of trust once you've known them for a certain amount of time. You're like, yeah, you get me. You know what I'm,
Yeah, absolutely. And there's definitely times when I've been, and she's like, oh, I have this idea, or can we try this? Can we try this? So I probably can't ever get away from the photographer's mind, I guess.
Yeah.
Because I can see it, but I can't see it because I'm in front of the camera.
Do you think sort of doing the photography and everything, do you think that sort of spurred you on to go into music, or do you think it was a kind of like completely separate, like, just a complete like change of direction, or whether it was like kind of helped along by it?
Yeah, I think they both tell stories, like photography and music. So I see that correlation of I'm passionate about telling stories and unearthing other people's stories, and whether they can't do that or you don't have a voice or blah blah blah. I think I'm passionate about that. So I think photography helped me realise that I love people and I love capturing, who they're actually supposed to be and made to be, and I think it's actually way more than just the photos. When you're doing photography, you have to be personable and you have to encourage the person if they're really nervous and you're like a soggy salmon standing there, don't know what to say. The photos aren't probably going to be that great,
No, yeah.
And I think there is way more to just like having all the gear and having, maybe a great eye. You have to be a person that wants the best out of that person that you're taking photos of, or you want them to be relaxed and comfortable. And if it's video, like you want to make sure that you get, are you doing all right? Can I get you in the thing? Or
for sure.
Because otherwise,
I think
it's not going to come out great.
Yeah, it's funny you say that, because in the last episode we had a chat with Zach, and he was basically just saying like the best time, the best shoots that they kind of like get out of people is when, for example, like both Zach and Ollie are on a shoot, and then like Ollie's kind of organising things, and then Zach's just like being like that personable, like let's just make them feel as comfortable as possible, and that's when you get the best performance out of them, or that's when you get the best look out of somebody. And I think that's really overlooked in like when people are like, oh yeah, I want to be a photographer, I want to be a videographer or something. Like I don't think enough people put in that time and effort to just become that like personality kind of thing. It's like just treat them as if you're like they're one of your mates, and then you'll get 10 times the result out of them.
You can have like the best gear in the world, but if you don't know how to talk to people, it's like
and people will always remember how they feel around you, know, always. So if you felt awkward doing a shoot, or I don't know, even in writing, like in a writing room, you're like, oh, I didn't really feel good in that, probably won't do that again.
People can feel the stress coming off of you, really. When it comes to that, I've heard from so many people that they've worked with like directors and stuff like that, and they just say like as soon as they get stressed, the whole crew gets stressed. And then if on the other hand, if like the director's like running the show with like a calm attitude and stuff like that, then the whole workflow just becomes 10 times easier.
Wow.
It
trickles
I think
down.
I've definitely had that at like weddings before, where it's like
100%.
I've been like I need to calm down because I know that they can feel that I'm like panicking.
So stressful.
Yeah. Did you feel like, because obviously as we said you came from a very like musical family, did you feel any like pressure to be a singer? Did you like when you were doing photography and stuff, did it feel like it was we want you to be a singer or whatever, or was it fairly like because your parents are lovely, so like was it a bit of a sort of like there was like a, even if it wasn't said, it was like a you've got to go into music, or was it was it fairly natural?
Not at all, honestly. Like my parents are so releasing and encouraging with all of us, and there was never a conversation of like, I think you should do this, or like they've always just been encouraging, like, oh, with singing it's like, well, so good, Els, or well done, let's hear that song. Or with photography, amazing, let's sit down and like look at the photos that you've taken today, or blah blah blah. So I never, like, I mean, it probably would be normal that I did, but I really didn't, and I felt so encouraged to literally do what I'm supposed to be doing, and to not feel that way. Or I mean, maybe other people have thought this for a long time, like, oh, when is she gonna it is. But I honestly haven't felt the pressure, and I think that's really beautiful, actually, that because pressure's not always lovely.
Yeah, I think that's the best thing that a parent can do, really, is just encourage your kids on whatever whatever they want to do. Because if you're forcing people, like if you're forcing somebody into something they're not going to enjoy, it was the same with my parents. Like, they could have easily just been like, yeah, I want you to do this, this and this. Like, I grew up in a musical family as well. Like, I could have easily been like, oh yeah, we want you to go and do this, this and this. But then they were like, no, like you've like fell in love with this like creative media thing. Yes. Like, just go with it. We'll support you 100%. And I think that's super nice that you've had that experience as well.
I think it's a real testament to Martin and Anna to be like, look at all of you, and you're all just doing what you want. Like, you know, exactly. You're doing what you're passionate about and what what you've wanted to do, instead of fulfilling a mold or whatever.
Yeah,
you know?
Totally. But, love that. Yeah. To Martin and Anna.
Martin and Anna. We love them. So obviously you went off onto the writers' retreat at Bright City to sort of write for the first album. Sort of, was that like your first sort of like involvement with Bright City, with getting involved with stuff like that, or was there talk about it before? Was it fairly like Paul Nelson was like, come on the writers' retreat, or did you sort of have that idea in your head already?
No, totally unexpected, to be honest. I didn't think I was a writer, or I didn't really write songs. So Paul Nelson definitely encouraged that in me to write. And I was 17 and by far the youngest person there. So I felt like, what am I doing here? Why have you chosen me to be part of this? You know, and such an amazing group of people. Like, so like such dear friends of mine that such a honour to, you know, be there and write with them too. So, but Paul Nelson has been such a massive encourager for me from the start of when we moved to St. Peter's. When I was like 13, I was like the first youth, and he encouraged me to like do BVs a bit here and there, and I was like terrified and found all the excuses not to do it, but he still encouraged me. And so yeah, definitely love those guys, and such an honour to be part of it.
I do see it when you're like leading at St. Peter's Youth. You're so encouraging of the younger guys trying to get involved and trying to sing or whatever. And I guess that sort of comes back to how you were brought into it, and you're like, you know, if you show that encouragement, then it, you know. Yeah,
we all need encouragement, don't we? It's so underrated. So if you see,
definitely. Do you think like that journey with Bright City like influenced your solo music, or your like desire to be a solo artist or whatever?
Do you know what? It made me just like so passionate about the church and people and writing together, and that I'm so grateful for that experience, being part of Bright City, like still to this day. And it's just what an amazing thing to be part of as like a collective, as a group, you know. And that was something I was nervous about doing my own thing, because it's like, oh, it's literally me. Like, where's all my friends out on stage? Or like, hello. But I knew what I'm doing is what I'm supposed to be doing. I know that, but I definitely see the influence and encouragement and kind of like the basis really of what I'm doing, that I got to be part of an amazing, and still get to be part of an amazing group, that, you know, we encourage each other and help us to be better people too. It's not, you know, you see something on the stage, but it's so behind the scenes too, like we're such dear friends. So I think it's definitely spurred me on to do my music for sure. Yeah.
Do you feel like it's a bit of a sort of like almost like coming home? Because obviously you go off touring or whatever, and then when you're back home, you're like, oh great, I'm with Bright City. It's like my home. It's like my family. Yeah. Do you feel it's a bit like coming home to some kind of
100%? Like, yeah, it is totally home, and I'm so grateful that I've got a community that I can come back to. You know, so many traveling musicians and things, they don't always have community when you come back. So I'm so grateful to jump back in with my fam for sure.
You've been releasing singles and stuff since 2018. Is that right?
Oh, gosh. Has it? Yeah, maybe. I don't know.
Yeah. So you, but obviously you've done like Bright City, and like you've been involved with stuff with your dad and stuff.
Yeah.
You obviously mentioned before about your photography and stuff, but when do you think was like the first time that you were starting to think like, oh, like I could actually like go and do my own solo thing and do this on my own kind of thing?
This was in summer of 2017. And I kind of went into that summer feeling very lethargic, I would say, and almost, we were about to get married, me and my husband, in the October, and definitely felt like dreamless and really like, oh, what are we supposed to be doing? Like, what do we, what we're supposed to do in life? What would you love us to do, God? You know, like all those questions of, I'm passionate about this and passionate about that, but what would you love, what's our mission sort of thing? And it was in that summer when there was just so many talks and conversations all about dreams and what you're dreaming about, what you're thinking about, what you waking up and, in the middle of the night or going to bed thinking about. And it just really got us thinking, oh gosh, what would we love to do? What would we love to see? What would you love, changed? Or how, what can we do with what we've got, that's going to help the world and help, the people. And so it was definitely all the Lord, really, in 2017, where he just basically said, like, I think now's the time, Els, to like start doing this and start doing your own music. And like look around at this arena, like there's going to be people who will come to your like shows and stuff, but not all these people, and you're not going to write this sort of music, but it's similar. And it was kind of like, what is going on? Like, I wasn't planning on doing music like as my career sort of thing. It probably terrified me and still terrifies me to this day. And, I felt so under-equipped and so, I don't know, just was not ready whatsoever. But he always, prepares us, doesn't he? And equips us with everything we need. So I just had to trust him, to be honest. So that's kind of how it all happened. Like I didn't have any songs to send to labels or anything. I didn't, but I felt like I was injected with a dream and a vision at that time. It was almost like, oh my gosh, I can see it. I can see what we're stepping into. I can see what we're leading into now. And it was terrifying. And it was like, oh my gosh, are we really doing this? But I think what's amazing when you know God and when you trust in him, he's like, he does so much of the work, and he can open doors, shut doors, bring people together, relationships. And I really felt like covered by him, because he, after that trip, the week after, I got like 3 different emails from 3 different labels, like, oh, we'd love to chat and we'd love to, get you over to Nashville and do some writing things. I'm like, that's random. Okay. Yeah, that'd be amazing. But it was like, I didn't do anything. Like I didn't have anything to show. So I knew it was all him, because I didn't do much. I just simply said yes and simply said, okay, then I trust you and let's go. So it's all like that, to be honest. And I'm still terrified. I'm still feel very not equipped, and I'm still like really young, and there's so many other people that could do other things, but I know that I'm in the right place, and I know that I've got something to say and something to bring with my music and my art. So I guess you got to stand confident in that, don't you? That he's doing something.
Did you sort of come out of that realization and just go straight into like writing? Did you sort of toy around with it a bit? Because obviously your first single was was it with One Sonic Society?
Yes, Love Song.
Was that your first one? Right, okay, yeah. So did you just go straight into the studio with them and start writing, or was it like a bit more?
Not at all. I guess when we started chatting about, the label chat and all of that, I think I was so in shock. I was like, and we were planning a wedding. I was like, what is going on? Like, why am I now doing music? Is that what I'm going to be called? And, Elle Limebear or Ellie Smith, there was all that chat. And then the month that we signed, it was like May 2018, I definitely went into full writing mode. Long weeks of writing, which is amazing, but also it was kind of like, oh my gosh, I'm not a professional. I don't see myself as, even a writer now. I know I songwrite, but it's like I had a songwriter vibe in my head as this like fully, like every single day, and there was me just like with my backpack on, turning up to write. Like, hello, I'm Ellie. Do you have any snacks? Let's write some music. So yeah, I guess lots of writing, but lots of chatting, lots of just being still again and just asking all the questions, because I didn't want to rush into anything. Like I wanted everything, every decision, and to discern it well, and what we're going to do, what's, the branding and stuff. Like I'm so picky about those sort of things. Art, like I love creativity, I love design and fonts and all that jazz.
Yeah.
That I knew, just had to be patient.
So it all sort of like, I guess, sort of kicked off for you sort of around those singles that then formed your EP, the Elle Limebear like EP.
Yeah.
Like, what were your thought processes when it came to writing the songs? Like, because obviously you, as you said, like you just sort of went in and just started writing them. Did you write them all at once? Did you just write like one at a time? Did you like, was it fairly like, did it take like a whole year to come up with that EP, or did it all come out of like one big writing session, like a retreat or whatever?
Yeah, to be honest, 4 of those songs of that EP was written in the same week.
Right, okay.
So it was kind of like one after another, which is kind of crazy, and that hasn't happened maybe since. But, but that was really cool how it was like just song after song came and felt right for them to go together too. And but then the rest of the album, like it was sporadic. It was, some writing weeks and stuff, but also simply just like being my own and at home. And so, yeah, some were definitely like back to back, like right. But also other things were just like, one-off things for sure.
Did you find that it was like you were constantly having to like push for inspiration, or was it fairly easy to be like, oh, I want to write this, I've got this idea?
Do you know what? It was different every single day. I'm not one of those writers that have like a bank of ideas and like I just like turn up to write and like ba-doom, like do what do you want? I'm really not like that. It's kind of like sometimes I'll bring like a few ideas of this is what I'm thinking, but I honestly like every write I have, I just wake up and simply just like ask like what do we need to write today? Like just simply ask the Lord like, oh, I don't know if I have anything, or what do I bring? Do I maybe have this, or I have this idea or this theme, but do we even need to write that today, or do we not? Do we need to like, so I think it's definitely different for each write, but I love themes, or titles. That's something I really love. And drawn to, and maybe would probably start a song off of that.
Right, yeah.
But yeah, it's different every time.
Yeah.
For sure.
Amazing. You released a load of music, then you ended up on the roadshow in the US.
Yeah.
How did that sort of happen? How did that come about?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I think, to be honest, it's like I've got an amazing booking agent out in the States, and they're so on it and so amazing. And I guess they put my name forward, or I don't really know how it all works. But I was so grateful to be part of that, and so grateful that.
How long was that? That was like what, 6 months, or was it less than that?
Oh, I think it was a couple of months. Maybe,
right. Okay. Yeah.
Maybe less than that. Maybe a month.
Yeah.
I can't remember.
But touring to like these huge like arenas and stadiums and like
Yeah, it was. I did find it funny. I was like, what am I doing here? Like, so many other people could be doing this, and like, there's this Brit like on this American tour, and and I hadn't really formed. I hadn't written a bunch of songs then either, so I was very grateful to be part of that and to be exposed to like more of the American Christian industry,
Yeah.
Where do you reckon's the your favourite spot that you've kind of gone out to and like played at or sang at?
Oh, that's a good question. I love Europe so much. I guess it's my people. I mean, Europe, but I do love it, and I love in Europe every country you go to, and you know, we're all side by side, and it's a different language and a totally different culture, and I just find that so cool how, you know, if you go on a little Europe tour, like it is different countries, but it's not even that far away, and it's cool.
For sure.
So I love, I mean, everywhere is amazing. I love Australia, they're wicked. I feel quite similar to the UK in that sense, but so many amazing places. And actually South America, oh my gosh, why didn't I say at the start? South America, oh my word. So rowdy and loud and passionate.
Yeah.
Never boring. They're not holding back, and I just love that. When you're singing too, and when they're singing their language, it's like, yes, flipping yes.
Yeah, I was actually listening to, it was I can't remember when it was. It was before you were married to Tom. Where it was you and your dad doing a show somewhere, and then he just starts singing out in, I think it was Spanish or something like that, and I was like, this is amazing. Like, it's just gone from like what I understand to something that the rest of the arena obviously understands, but it's just so like powerful that you can kind of just flick a switch there, and it's just a whole different feel and vibe.
Yeah, I love that. It's so cool, isn't it? Languages and I don't know, it's so and music's powerful. That like is carrying
100%
the words, so it's really, really cool.
Yeah, definitely. So obviously Lost in Wonder, the album, came out. When did it come out? February? Do the jump now, go. Came out in February, didn't it?
It did, yes.
Yeah. How did you, when did you get the idea to like go, oh, I want to release it? Or was it even like, I want to release an album? Or was it just like, oh, I've got a load of songs, maybe I should release an album? Or did it start as like, we're going to do an album?
So what happened was just chats with like the label, and as a new artist, there were, you know, as you do, just think of ways, and you know, what do we do with Ellie? Like, you know, what's she about, sort of thing, and her audience. And I think all these songs, it was literally, I wasn't even writing really for an album. They were just songs that were coming out of writing things and sessions, and we just thought we should just collate them and put this out. And an album is kind of like not a dated thing, but not many people are doing albums these days. Lots of singles and lots of, playlisting so popular, which I totally realised. But there was something in me that was like, I would love to put out a full project. I would love to, from top to bottom, like songs and journey. And so I think it was probably just a little thing for me too, is that I would love to, have a wham bam project, you know.
Yeah.
So it kind of came together like that, and then sure enough, you know, more things kind of came and strategies, blah blah blah. But I'm so pumped about it. I really like the songs.
It's a real shame that you haven't been able to like tour with them. Like,
I know. Tell me about it, Angus.
I remember seeing on Instagram when you were sat on your throne of CDs, because all the CDs that you couldn't sell on tour because the tour been cancelled.
The struggle is real. It's real. I know. It's slowly going down.
I remember it was before lockdown. We obviously came over and helped you film the little Lord You Have My Heart video.
Yes.
And that's obviously one that your dad had written and performed with Delirious way back in the day. Where did that idea to like recreate that come from?
Yeah, so this year was the last year was the 30th year of that song being written. So my dad wrote that when he was 19, and it's always been a song that I've loved and we've sung, you know, I've sung throughout my life. And I think it was actually the 25th anniversary, which was 5 years ago, and Johnny Bird, we all know Johnny Bird.
We all know Johnny Bird.
Amazing producer and musician. And he was simply, with Dad, just messing around with different songs and trying different, you know, going to redo old songs and thinking of putting it out for the 25th anniversary for Lord You Have My Heart. And then, I don't know why, but this was when I was living back at my parents' house, and I just remember it was either Johnny or Dad said, "Oh, Els, do you want to just come down and like do a vocal on Lord You Have My Heart? Like, we just want to see what like the girl vocal would be." And so 5 years ago, I just we did it, and nothing came of it. We just, it was a nice song, but I've always remembered that, and always had that demo that I would listen to, and I really love this. Like, I really would love to do something with this. But back then, like, I wasn't planning or thinking ever of doing my own thing, so it wasn't really a thing. So when we started writing again, and simply, I've got a song that I would love to put out, and it's one of my dad's old songs, but it kind of came at a wicked time where it was the 30th anniversary, so it felt appropriate, and to do it with him, it was a serious full circle surreal moment of like, I wasn't born when this was written.
Wow.
I was singing it
great.
together.
It was beautiful.
Yeah, you guys smashed it on that too. I'm so grateful. It's such a good day.
Oh, thank you.
We got there in the end. Joel literally messaged me like 2 days before, being like, do you want to come and help out? It was really powerful, like, especially the actual song that you released, not just the acoustic cover, but the actual song is just so powerful, because it's like, it is this kind of modernization of this song. As you said, he was 19 when he wrote it. It's like insane. It's and it's like thinking about, because I obviously grew up singing Delirious songs in church and stuff like that. And if I would have thought this was written by a 19-year-old, like, because you always envisioned Christian songwriters as being, like, I don't want to say old men, you know what I mean? Sort of mature, and so the fact that he wrote it when he's 19 is just incredible, because it's like this teenager's like love song almost about it's like the actual single is so beautiful, because it's this modernization. It's got it feels very you, but then it also feels very Martin, so it's sort of like it's like this great combination.
That's cool.
What's next from Elle Limebear? What's coming next?
What is next? You tell me, Angus. To be honest, like, I guess with all events being cancelled and all of that, I don't know next when I'm going to be singing live, I guess, or leading, and probably be 2021. So I think right now I'm just writing a ton and trying to be present, trying to just, ear to the ground, and don't want to strive to do anything. Like, I'm really not into that. I'm really not into like rushing things for output, or to quickly people doing that, let's do that. I'm really not interested in that. So I'm just trying to discern what to do, to be honest. I'm in like a discernment process of what is next and what should I be doing. But I think the songs that are coming out at the moment are exciting. I'm really excited about these new songs. I guess, who knows when I'll put out new music too. Like, could be next week, could be in next year. I don't know. It always is kind of like...
Watch this space. But what's a question that we're asking all of our guests now is, what is your kind of like 5-year goal? What is like the dream of where you want to be in the next kind of like 5 years?
Gosh, wow, that is a great question. I hope I'm a lot kinder. To be honest, I want to be a better human by those at the end of 5 years. I think I want to continue to write music that is going to change things, to be honest. I hope in 5 years that there'll be more music out, and I think what I'm passionate about is also beyond the music. Like, I do always see my music as like a spearhead of something bigger, of that what we'll do as a couple, or me, myself. And I just hope that at the end of these, in 5 years' time, that spearhead of music will be driving something else that's bigger, I guess, and that's gonna, maybe it's a different movement or a project or charity. I don't want to shut anything down. I don't want to just hone myself in just to music. I want to make sure that, because things, I'm not entitled to do this too. Like, I don't actually have to. If I'm not supposed to be doing this, I'm going to drop it, I want to be obedient, and I want to follow what the Lord's telling me to do. So maybe in 5 years I won't be doing music. Maybe I'll, I don't know, be working at a woodwork company. Who knows? Like, the Lord does crazy things. So.
Limebear Woodwork.
Yeah, come on now. But yeah, I hope still doing music, but other things coming together, working with more people. I hope we have a bigger team. I hope that I'll actually have like a team that I can travel with. Right now it's a team that wherever I am, I'm just, collating people from that city or country. So I hope that I have a travelling team and who knows?
Who knows?
Yeah.
Who knows? Amazing.
We'll wait and see. But I think that wraps it up for the video portion of this video.
The video portion of this video.
Video portion of this video. Yes, of this podcast. Where can people find your stuff?
They can find my stuff on... If you go to my website, ellelimebearmusic.com, there's everything there, the store and listening and videos, but also Spotify, Apple, Amazon, YouTube, all of the above. All of that.
All of the above.
Amazing. Go check it out, guys. But yeah, I think that wraps it up. We're going to go over to audio only now, just to have a bit of a chat, so join us over there. But whilst you're still here on the YouTube, please press the subscribe button. We need to get those numbers up, get everyone watching every week. And yeah, link below.
Amazing. Brilliant.
Let's go over to audio only.
There was a few clouds, but the beams are beaming. I was 15 turning 16. He likes to say I was definitely 16. I was definitely 15. My dad just put me forward. He's like, oh, my sister? Oh my, oh my gosh. Oh, wow. Oh, yeah. There's Uncle Tim in his pants. Wow.